My mother-in-law kicked me out in the storm, screaming the baby wasn't her son's. Then his estranged brother pulled up in a Bentley and said, "Actually, it's mine." Now as I hold our newborn, they're begging, but I'm done with their family's lies. The rain soaked through my thin maternity dress as my clothes flew past me onto the muddy lawn. "Get out, you lie to the wrong son." My mother-in-law, Patricia Rothwell, stood in the doorway like a judge delivering a sentence, her perfectly styled hair untouched by the storm. "Did you think we wouldn't find out? That you could trick my son with someone else's child?" I pressed one hand to my 8-month pregnant belly, steadying myself on the poor railing. "Patricia, please, you don't understand." I understand plenty." She hurled my laptop bag next, and I winced as it hit the ground. The paternity test came back. "That baby isn't Ryan's. You tried to manipulate your way into this family." Behind her, Ryan stood with arms crossed, his face unreadable. My husband of 2 years, the man who once said he'd stand by me through anything, watched this unfold in silence. "Ryan," I pleaded. "Tell her, you know this isn't. The test doesn't lie, Natalie." His voice was cold. 52% probability. "That's not my child." "That's because you weren't honest," Patricia cut in. I warned him this would happen. "You're not one of us." She wasn't wrong about one thing. I wasn't from a family like theirs. I grew up in a small town, earned a scholarship to Columbia, and believed fairy tales were real when Ryan Rothwell proposed. His family owned half of Manhattan's skyline. They vacationed in the Hamptons, wintered in Aspen, and I thought love would be enough. Mrs. Rothwell, Rosa the housekeeper, appeared behind her, concern on her face. "Please, Miss Natalie is pregnant. It's dangerous." "You're not to interfere," Patricia said sharply. "In fact, call security. I want her gone in 5 minutes." I bent to grab my bag, but the motion made me dizzy. 8 months pregnant, no coat, no place to go. My family was 1,000 miles away in Ohio. My credit cards were tied to Ryan's accounts. My phone was part of his family plan. In 2 years, I had become completely dependent on them. "Please," I said again, my voice catching. "Just let me explain." "Explain what?" Ryan stepped forward. "How you kept secrets. How you tried to make this something it's not. I want a divorce, Natalie. My lawyers will be in touch." He actually smirked like this was a victory. "You never wanted this baby," I said quietly. "You scheduled 3 consultations without telling me." His face darkened. "That's not. You said it would get in the way of your promotion. That your mother would be furious if I got pregnant before you made partner." Patricia's eyes narrowed. "Ryan, what is she talking about?" "She's just trying to turn us against each other," he said. "You know how some people are always with a sob story. A sob story, that's all I was to them now. Not the woman who stayed up helping him prep for case reviews. Not the one who supported him through panic attacks before client meetings. Just someone to be written off." Security arrived. 2 men in black jackets who looked more suited to guarding a nightclub. "Ma'am," one said not unkindly, "we need you to leave the premises." I nodded, trying to keep my composure. I picked up my scattered clothes, stuffing the soaked garments into a suitcase. My laptop bag was probably ruined. 2 years of work on my novel gone. But that felt like the least of my losses. Then a car pulled up, a Bentley Mulsanne, sleek and untouched by the chaos. This wasn't just wealth, it was something rare. Power. The driver's door opened, and a man stepped out, black umbrella in hand. I knew that silhouette. "Going somewhere?" Alexander Rothwell asked, his voice slicing through the rain. Patricia froze. "Alexander, what are you doing here?" The prodigal son, the one who walked away from the family empire to build his own. The one who never came home for holidays, who sent cards signed by an assistant, the brother Ryan pretended, didn't exist while secretly devouring every article about him in Forbes. "Hello, mother." He walked forward with quiet precision. "Evicting pregnant women in the rain. That's a new low even for you." "This is none of your business," Patricia said. But her voice had lost some of its edge. "Alexander had that effect on people. She cheated on your brother. The paternity test shows 52% probability that Ryan is the father." Alexander interrupted. "Which, if any of you understood basic genetics, is exactly what you'd expect for a half-uncle relationship." The umbrella tilted, and I finally saw his face. Sharp cheekbones, storm gray eyes, a mouth that looked like it rarely smiled but was devastating when it did. He looked at me for a long moment, something unreadable in his expression. "Hello, Natalie." "Alex," I whispered. Patricia's face went white. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying," Alexander said calmly, "that Ryan can't be the father because I am. That's my baby she's carrying." Patricia's knees buckled. She actually collapsed against the doorframe. One manicured hand pressed to her chest. Ryan's mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. "That's impossible," Ryan stammered. "You haven't been around. You don't even come to family events. When would you?" "Thanksgiving," I said quietly, "and Christmas and New Year's Eve." Every time Ryan had been too busy with work or too drunk to notice, I'd disappeared. Every stolen moment in Alexander's penthouse while the family celebrated below. Every whispered promise that we'd find a way to be together properly. "You slept with my wife?" Ryan's voice cracked. Alexander's laugh was cold. "Your wife? The woman you've been cheating on since your honeymoon? The one whose calls you ignore while you're with your secretary? That wife? How dare you? I have photos, Ryan. Timestamps. Your secretary has quite the Instagram habit." Alexander's smile was predatory. "But please, continue playing the victim." He turned to me then, and his expression softened. "Can you walk?" I nodded, though I wasn't entirely sure. The stress, the cold, the rain, everything was making me dizzy. "Good." He held out his hand. "Let's go." "You can't just take her." Patricia had found her voice again. "She's married to Ryan. This is kidnapping." "It's not kidnapping when she comes willingly," Alexander said. "And as for the marriage, well, I think Ryan mentioned something about lawyers. I'm sure mine will be better." He helped me down the steps, holding the umbrella over me while he soaked his probably $1,000 suit. The security guards stepped aside. Even they knew better than to challenge Alexander Rothwell. Your things, he asked, glancing at my pathetic suitcase. This is everything. His jaw tightened. We'll buy you new things. Alex, I started, but he shook his head. Not now, let's get you warm and dry first. He helped me into the Bentley, the leather seats soft as butter. I was probably ruining them with my wet clothes, but Alexander didn't seem to care. He closed my door and walked around to the driver's side, taking his time, letting his family watch from the porch. Alexander, Patricia shrieked. If you leave with her, you're dead to this family. Do you hear me? Dead. He paused, looking back at her. I've been dead to this family for 5 years, Mother. The only difference is now you know why.